when nothing else seems to work except this one thing. So you might be wondering, what exactly is this one thing? Because I've tried everything and nothing seems to work. The only thing that I experience is constant disappointment. So let's reflect on that. Right now I'm in, as you can see, in a very beautiful area. It's called the Devil's Punch Bowl. It's just in the south of England, just near Hindhead. I really love it here. Really nice and quiet, especially during the weekday. It's being managed and fully supported by the National Trust. So always these areas are absolutely gorgeous. So I don't know about you, but I gotta be very honest with you. And the last year, or even the last 2 years, since 2020 actually, I felt we have been through, let's say, a lot of darkness. We have felt as empaths that there's like a layer of dark energy around the planet. And we have been picking it up very much indeed. And it's not to blame you. And of course, I think many of us, we really started to look outside like, hey, you know, what is out there that is manipulating our life? We started to feel, let's say, powerless, and we have been perhaps doing our research and seek for answers like what's going on at the planet. And I get that. I've been there as well, and it also can make us feel very angry, disempowered, and very angry, because we feel like we are out of control. We don't have longer control over our own lives. And of course, like I always said, the only corner of this entire universe is your own universe that you can influence, because that's who we are. We are basically the center of our own universe, of our angles of perception that we are creating. Now, I felt is that we are going through, let's say, a lot of grief. Grief in the sense, like, first of all, many of us perhaps we have been losing loved ones, literally. So that's literally grief. Now, some of us, we also experience grief because we have been starting to lose out careers, jobs, businesses that has been impacted in a negative way because of the global crisis. So that's another level of grief. And what we are trying to do is we want to, as adults, we are trying to grab control over that what we already know, what we have already experienced with. It's basically like when you're looking for a new job, they're always looking for, okay, so what is your experience? You know, what is that you have been doing so far? What is your skill sets? And I get that. It's the thinking of an accountant. An accountant, they always look at your past. They never look where you are right now and where do you want to go. Creators, entrepreneurs, they just look at the future, at where they want to go. They create a vision for themselves. Now, what many of us try to do is, you know, we are always looking in our, let's say, library of all our memories and experiences, and what we are doing is we are always digging in our subconscious mind, in our library, and we are taking out all these files of memories that we have, experiences that we have, and then we are projecting that in the present moment with always the expectation that will give us the same results that has been giving us before. We try that and it doesn't. Why not? Because we are changing. A lot of things are currently changing at many levels of our society and the world. Question is, how are we changing with it? So I could say is that, let's say, our ego, our survival mechanism, you know, we are going through a period of loss, of grief. You know, we are losing our jobs, careers, businesses. We're losing out relationships, partners. We're losing out financial security, stability. We're losing out social interactions because we are forced to work from home. We are forced, or we're losing out the freedom to travel, to do whatever we want to do. And all of that comes like a level of grief because we are losing something of ourselves. But the number one thing we are really losing right now, that perhaps might not be a bad thing, which is right now necessary in order to move forward. What I've noticed in myself is that, yes, I've been doing the exact same thing that like what I'm currently sharing with you. I've been trying to grab control based on going through all the experiences that I had so far, and trying to do the exact same thing like what I've been doing for the last several years. And then boom, you hit disappointments. Things are not working, you feel drained, you feel stressed, you feel anxious, you feel frustrated, you feel angry because what you have been doing, it brought you success before, but now it doesn't. And you know, we could see ourselves like, damn, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, what's going on? And you start really to beat yourself up, you become really critical with yourself. Like, this used to work for me in the past, why it doesn't work for me right now? What's going on? I know it, I just can't feel it. Why can't I feel excited about the things that I used to be excited about in the past, but now I am not? So we feel we are losing, let's say, a part of our personal identity, of our self-image. You know, because our past experiences, it made us feel in a certain way. You know, for example, my dad, when I was 8 years old, my dad, he put me on a local market in order to sell secondhand stuff from my grandma. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed selling things and win at that game. When I was 8 years old, I was able to save up a little bit of money and buy my radio cassette. You know, when you're my age, you probably still remember that. The next year, I did the same thing, and I got the money in order to buy a radio with CD player. So that was like a massive win for me. So this kind of this trait, man, has always been in me. When I look to my heritage, where I'm actually coming from, my surname and the whole root and the ancestors of that, where that's coming from, I'm looking at ancestors who has been responsible for building the Dutch Empire. And then I wonder, what the heck is going on with me that it ain't working right now? I'm not sure if you can relate, but if so, simply drop a comment below, because I'm very curious, or if I'm the only one. So yeah, I must be honest, the last several months I've been through, let's say, a lot of emotional healing, and I spoke about that as well during my last videos, because also during the summer I was in the Netherlands, and you know, like I said also in my videos there, I had this longing to reconnect with the roots, my roots. And does the roots of us, does it depend on a location? Perhaps. Does it depend on a country? Maybe. Or does that depend on something that make us feel grounded here in this very present moment? Because of many empaths, lightworkers, high sensitive, intuitives, starseeds, we want to go up. We want to go up in self-acquisition. There's only one place for us at the pyramid, and that is self-acquisition. We want to be at the top of that. We want to expand. But you can't go up. I mean, the tree can only grow as far as the roots are grounded in the earth. So above, so below. So within, so without. So we have this longing to come home. To come home and to reconnect with ourselves, with our essence. To reconnect with the roots. Where is it that we feel grounded? What is it that we can do that make us feel connected and engaged with what it is that we choose to do. Now, the number one question, of course, is, so what is that number one thing that potentially could work out for you? If right now you're opening up a door and you feel like you're stepping in the unknown, and you have no idea what is ahead of you, and you have no idea how that's going to give you any sense of safety, security, stability, then chances are that might be the right door for you. If you have tried to open up every door and you have looked in that room looking for answers and you have never found any answers that your soul were actually really looking for, then you know that that door you're opening up is the one you need to step into. Now, we're moving into December. Right now it's the 2nd of December. And before we know it, it's the 21st of December, which is going to be our Winter Solstice. I'm a Pisces, born February 19, 1986, first day Pisces. And I started off this year making a video about we're moving right now in the Age of Aquarius. We're moving in the Age of Aquarius, which means is that we are looking for another level of personal freedom, which starts with redefining ourselves. And it also means is that, yeah, maybe we still need to open up a couple of doors within our soul, within our memories, within our own Akashic records, where all these memories are stored. We need to look into that and see is that, do we still need to get answers in that room? Yes or no? And maybe we do, in order to define, like, I am not that anymore. I'm ready to move ahead. I am ready to let go of a part of myself I'm not longer choose to be. And if you feel right now you're opening up a door and it's like it brings up a lot of insecurity and you don't know where to go, perhaps even fear of the unknown, you don't know how things are going to work out, then it's become another journey of trust. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Trust the universe probably does have your back, because, of course, our role is to reconnect with our joy, because that's our ultimate purpose. And that's how we increase our vibrational frequency, and that's exactly what the universe is after. Expanding in energy, expanding our vibrational frequency. And then yes, if you follow that, then the universe got your back and will give you what you need. If you feel like you're opening up still doors for the past, that feels like a contraction, it's draining you, then the universe does not have your back. It's not supporting you. It's only your ego that is trying to win, which is can't. So where are we heading? Where I am heading? We are in December, and it probably means is that things are taking up a notch. We have been through a lot of darkness. We have opening up a lot of doors that were not longer working for us. We had to go through that in order to realize things. And we had to let go of certain type of beliefs that were still stored in our personal identity and our self-image. And letting go of that, of course, triggered, let's say, emotions of grief, fear, anger, shame, guilt, frustration. I get that. But right now things are really stepping up. We are being invited to really to look at, so what is it that we actually came here to do as Lightworkers? And there are so many things coming ahead for us, the changes, society, economics, the political agendas, whatever's going on. Things are happening in the world of technology, like the things that we know that has been working so far for us, the internet, Web 2.0, social media, all of that is gonna change. We are moving into a whole new era of how we can communicate with each other. of course comes with a lot of opportunities, but also comes with risk. Risk that if eventually we get, let's say, locked up in a virtual reality where we are creating another kind of personal identity or an avatar, is that really going to bring us closer to our true authentic self, our human nature, or further? That's a question. I'm not saying what's coming ahead, Web 3.0, the metaverse, that we can create our own virtual realities and where our life becomes completely gamified and where we can create economies within a virtual reality, real economies that can actually really pay the bills in our physical world. But once again, is that really going to bring us closer or further from our true authentic self? And what is needed to stay connected with our true authentic self? And how do we actually reconnect or reunite or remember with the ancient wisdom, the ancient knowledge of our ancestors? The ancestors that perhaps were much more connected with the land, with nature, with our biology, with our ecosystem, who perhaps understands to optimize, let's say, our nervous system that right now, of course, gets completely bombarded with distractions. Is our role as Lightworkers, will that be much more is to give people reminders of who they actually truly are? Is where we can reunite, reconnect and remember this ancient knowledge and wisdom and technology that our ancestors has created before us, that is actually still stored within the memory of our souls, and within the memories of the spirits of nature, but we lost that connection. And perhaps right now it becomes much more our role as healers is to bring back that knowledge before the world is going to lose themselves completely in, let's say, a virtual identity, in an avatar. So that's exactly the question that I want to share with you in today's video. What is the number one thing that potentially still could work for you? That's of course opening up the door of the unknown. Peace out. Take care for now.